Arma Reforger. Is it just a glorified tech demo, or is it an actual game? Hey folks, I'm Salmon, and welcome to the pond. Arma Reforger is a multiplayer military sim sandbox game that originally served as a testing platform for Bohemia Interactive's new Infusion game engine. However, it has since been officially released and continues to receive updates, with Reforger now at version 1.1. The game offers a multiplayer and co-op experience, along with new mod integration systems and of course the new game engine, so I decided to take a closer look and see what it has to offer. The game offers a great little bootcamp tutorial, which covers inventory systems like weapon handling, how to apply first aid, map reading and navigation. There is also a section on the base building and how supplies work in multiplayer matches. This section also covers how to capture your bases and link them up using the new radio signal system. Lastly, there's a vehicle section in the tutorial, teaching you how to operate vehicles such as trucks and helicopters. Here you are also shown how the repairing system works for vehicles using supplies. The game also offers a field manual you can access anytime, with various categories showing you how these systems work if you need a quick reminder. During the tutorial, I found these new systems were intuitive and interacting with objects in the world was a smooth and satisfying experience, mainly due to the new Infusion game engine. So what's the deal with the new game engine? Well, it's the standout feature of Arma Reforger, as the new engine affects every aspect of the game. Apart from the new visuals and audio it brings to the table, which we'll get onto later, you will notice the impact the new engine has on your experience immediately when playing the game. From player movement to opening doors, the experience is smooth and fluid than it ever has been in the franchise. Interacting with any objects and players in the world now comes down to a contextual menu that appears when looking at an action point, where you can then scroll through the options using the mouse wheel. For example, when operating a vehicle, to start the engine, you have to look at the key to turn on the engine. Also, to operate the lights, look over to the light controls and then activate them through the menu. This system truly adds immersion to the game, making you feel like you are interacting with actual pieces of equipment in the world. This also extends to the weapon mechanics. Along with the improved recoil and shooting systems in Arma Reforger, you can now mount your weapons up against any surfaces to increase stability and accuracy for your weapon. Also, a new tab select menu is a welcome feature, allowing you to scroll through and select items to hand quickly that are on your person. And there's the new weapon inspection system, allowing you to look at your weapon and install or remove any attachments, which is a great improvement over the old drag and drop system from prior games. Arma Reforger has 3 main modes, with the absence of any single player campaign. Instead, we have co-op scenarios, where you fight to survive against AI as a local resistance force, completing missions throughout the map as you explore and seek hideouts for safety and gear. Secondly, there is the Game Master mode, where you can create your own scenarios, or play as the Game Master in an existing PvP match, creating scenarios and situations live on the battlefield for players to overcome. And of course, there is the standard online PvP matches, where you'll fight to capture towns and bases for supremacy over the map. Once you have captured a point, it's best to equip with supplies and defensive structures and spawning resources to ensure you keep and defend your newly acclaimed position. There are various structures and objects that anyone can build at these points regardless of rank, such as armories, vehicle depots, defensive emplacements, and even AI defenders, as long as you have the supplies to do so. You can either transport supplies from bases to the front line via trucks, or retrieve supplies from depots dotted around the map. If you're a real team player defending, attacking and completing objectives, you'll earn XP and rank up, enabling you to access even better equipment and structures from the base builder. To ensure access to spawning at captured points, they must be linked together and within radio signal. This can be done using the mobile command unit, or by building radio towers at adjacent operating bases. Arma Reforger has thought outside the box when it comes to radios in multiplayer, as everyone has a radio they can use, either on their squad channel, team channel, or set your own. However, the interesting part is that you can pick up enemy radios, enabling you to listen into their communications and set traps or ambushes. But this works both ways. If you think your channel is compromised, either set a new frequency or go old school and meet up in person to devise your new plan. Checking first there's no one lurking nearby, listening in on your proximity chat. Reforger currently offers 2 vanilla maps. One is 50 kilometers and the other one is smaller, around 10. I found that with my time in online play, the 50 kilometer map was a really nice size, as you're only ever a couple minutes drive from the next town or point of interest, meaning you can get back into the action a lot faster, serving for a quicker paced game, which may be more attractive for more casual or new players to the Arma series. However, there are more remote places on the map which will require a bit of a journey to get to, which may be better for some, but the map is a fair size away from the 250 kilometer Altis map from Arma 3, so if you're one of them that enjoys traversing huge spaces, you may feel a little shortchanged here. So let's talk mods. So the new mod system in Arma Reforger is simpler than ever. Now you don't have to go back and forth to the Steam workshop to make sure you have all the mods needed. Instead, click on the server you want to join and the game will start downloading the mods right in front of you. Then when they are all complete, it joins you into the server. It could not be simpler. Alternatively, you can browse the mods through the menus, going to the thousands of mods made by the community. These range from new co-op scenarios, maps, vehicles and equipment. So if you're fed up with the Cold War era and want to play something with a bit more modern day equipment, then the mod page is where to go. The new Infusion game engine is not pulling any punches when it comes to graphics, as it can look stunning, especially with the new lighting. However, it will depend on your graphic settings. There is a decent amount of graphical settings here to tweak. It's definitely not the most comprehensive I've seen, but it's certainly not the worst either. The game's graphics will change in real time in the background when you're playing around with the settings, allowing you to see what's worth cranking up or turning down for that desired FPS.
He's under the bus. He's shooting from under the bus.
The audio here is also really good, from small sound details to the sound of whirling choppers flying by and the bullets cracking overhead, all adding to the immersion of the game. One thing that stood out for me numerous times is that you can consistently hear and work out what direction shots are coming from, which is a must in a game like this where spatial awareness is very important, so you can detect a threat and make a plan going forward. So the performance seems to be a bit of a mixed bag. Personally, I've had a good experience with performance for the most part. I've been getting around 75 to 100 frames on average, depending on the server I'm on, with mods etc. Sometimes slightly more, sometimes slightly less. For reference, I'm running GTX 3080 Ti with a Ryzen 5950X and 32 gigs of RAM. I've only encountered one bug where I couldn't load supplies onto a vehicle, but I went to get another and was perfectly fine, so it just came down to a bulk truck, no biggie there. I have had 2 game crashes when I was downloading some mods and only had one server go down in my time with the game. However, I am aware of many others online who have had a different experience with performance and bugs being a lot worse than others. So if you see someone with similar specs to you online, you still may get a different performance experience when it comes to playing the game yourself. So my recommendation for you would be to take advantage of Steam's 2-hour refund policy. Download the game on an SDS, giving you the best chance possible, boot it up and jump straight into an online match and play around with your graphic settings. See what you get, and if it's something that's playable for you, then happy days. If not, you can get a refund and no damage done. So to wrap up, I would say Arma Reforger is now a game in its own right. Yes, it's a smaller package and experience than Arma 3, but it is a more refined one in many aspects, and the price does reflect that at £25. I think that the game offers enough content to warrant the price, with plenty vanilla and modded servers to play, along with co-op scenarios. This smaller scale enables you to jump into the action quicker if your time is at a premium, and believe this is also a great place for new people to try out the Arma experience for the first time, as many systems are more streamlined and easier to digest. Then, if you enjoy the experience, I encourage you to delve into the depths of Arma 3 and see what other experiences that title has to offer. That being said, if you're just struggling to get the performance you want to enjoy Arma Reforger, try out Arma 3 instead, as chances are you should be able to run that pretty comfortably now if you've got a reasonable PC, and the game has a ton of features and experiences to offer. Alright folks, that wraps up for today. Thank you very much for tuning in and sticking with me till the end. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the pond. Also, if you liked any of the music in this video, give Leva some support through the links in my description below. Thanks again guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.